Hello everyone, welcome to GeoGroup 17.2 Outlook. My name is Sampath Ranasinghe and I'm the product manager for the group. So let's get started. The group is working on two major projects in this milestone, as we have been doing in a few of the past milestones. The first project is Unified Backups and the second is Org Mover. Unified Backups is the next generation backup solution for backing up GitLab. It's designed to scale to our largest reference architectures and also work across all of our installation types. So Linux package, Docker, cloud native hybrid, and source code. We are also looking to dogwood this solution. So the idea would be for us to offer it into GitLab dedicated and .com as well alongside cells. So in this milestone, we are working on extending the MVC, which almost shipped in 17.1. We are addressing some teething issues, but the focus will be on extending the MVC to 10K reference architectures on GCP, alongside support for Kubernetes and object storage. In parallel, we're also working on the blueprint for unified backups. We already have an MR going, and we're looking to conclude and get that merged in this milestone. This will give the opportunities for internal teams to get an idea of our direction of travel when it comes to the technical direction here, and also give an opportunity to discuss some of the details we have been highlighting. Next up, it's Org Mover, and we're working on the MVC for the Org Mover, and there are a couple of parallel tracks that we're working on with respect to the Org Mover. But a little bit about what Org Mover is first and why it's important. GitLab is working on the next generation architecture for Gitlab.com, called cells and organizations, actually, I should say. And the cells architecture will help Gitlab.com scale horizontally and provide a consistent user experience by sharding Gitlab.com. So we need an ability to move organizations or customer data between cells. And we also need the ability to move this customer data from the Gitlab.com monolith to cells as well. So this is where Org Mover comes to the fore in providing this capability. We want to minimize the amount of downtime when these migrations happen. Geo does a good job already with this, and that's why this Org Mover is a good fit for the Geo team to tackle. Geo synchronizes data in the background, while still allowing the primary instance to take changes and eventually copying those changes to the secondary site. So in similar vein, since we want to minimize the downtime when it comes to migrations between cells and from .com monolith to cells, the mechanisms that Geo use lend themselves very well here. And the idea here would be to use this background copying, migration, or continuous replication to provide the bulk of the capabilities to migrate the data across, and then take a small amount of time initially to switch over the customer to a cell. Long term, we want to minimize the downtime to 0, but that will be we will make improvements on the downtime iteratively as we make progress. So there's a couple of parallel tracks here with regard to the work. High-level blueprint, a high-level design blueprint for Org Mover, enabling checksumming for all data independent of Geo. So again, giving us the opportunity to check the data integrity on Gitlab.com by performing checksums and identifying any problems and getting ahead of them before Org Mover is actually required. This gives us a bit of a runway to address any concerns, and we want to be able to roll this out very soon in a gradual fashion, of course, without overloading .com. Then thirdly, we want to validate Postgres logical replication as a mechanism for replicating data between cells. Some of you may already know that Geo works on streaming replication, and logical replication is somewhat different. And so the idea here would be to evaluate the performance and the suitability of logical replication instead of streaming replication, which replicates data at an instance level, which will not work for cells, whereas logical replication will allow us to filter just the specific org's data to be copied across to a cell. So that's the idea behind our investigation into logical replication with respect to org movement. And then lastly, we have some documentation improvements we want to continue making. We're going to tackle this slowly in piecemeal terms, and keep chipping away at some of the improvements we want to make here. We're seeing more geo customers deploy multi-site, multi-node geo sites, and our documentation is a little lacking in the details for such deployments, and we want to level up the documentation here. And then lastly, we'll tackle some high priority bugs that have come up with respect to geo. With that, I will conclude the 17.2 Outlook. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time.